everything to everybody, but you could be true and you could be yourself and comfortable in your skin and just represent what's real to you.
I'm very much in a space right now where I'm not doing anything that's going to compromise my peace and happiness. So I think just taking control, making sure you maintain your power, don't give your power away to anybody. That I feel like is the key to truly being happy.
Hey, bro, you better get ready to buckle up because this shit don't get no easier, bro. Once you think the grind gets easier, come on, bro, you silly, man. This grind's only for the strong ones, bro. And if you weak, I suggest you go ahead and leave. It's tough, but it's true. Be safe.
Until you figure it out, find you a hustle, make your money, and you gotta have something figured out. You gotta have a goal. You just gotta work towards. You gotta.
What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Creative. Go ahead, say it with me. We are back at it again to do what? To create something great. Now, today I'm super excited what I have planned for y'all. We're going to be continuing the work we've been doing on SONA. If you don't remember, SONA is our Smart Option News Analyst. It's an AI that we're building here on the channel live with y'all. We've completed some great work so far as being able to select the LLMs, being able to bring in the data that we need in order for our AI to read in to the market and then tell us real time what the market is doing without all that fancy jargon, right? So in essence, think about watching CSNBC. Whenever you see those news analysts being able, financial analysts or commentators, if you would, being able to give their take on what the market is doing. What we're building is an AI agent that can do this for us. So we're going to be picking up on part 2. Here's what we have done so far, right? So for those that don't know, here's SONA. What SONA does is an AI-powered market intelligence terminal that provides real-time analysis and automated weekly content, right? Now, this automated weekly content, I'm still kind of I don't know if I'm going to do that as heavy as yet, but nonetheless, what our main focus here today is to being able to go through the brain of SONA, right? These different LLMs that we've used, that we also decided to bring in DeepSeek, right? Thanks to Pascal. I really do appreciate that. Now, DeepSeek, we're bringing in the reasoning. I think it's simple, but don't quote me on that. I want to change that as soon as we get there just to confirm. But we're bringing in DeepSeek as well. As far as Groq, I am almost certain we're going to be changing this model. Changing model. Right. And there's a few other little mix-ups that we've done. So we're going to be spending time with our brain element of the AI agent just to make sure that it is done correctly, right, without any hesitation. So I'm going to be using ChatGPT. Reason being so is because I have a few questions that I need to flush out. So here at Creative Coder, our aim is to be able to create different AI agents, being able to create algo trading. Have you get lost in that lately, and being able to also infuse machine learning. I've only been doing this for just under a year, and I decided to be able to stream my process, right? I've been streaming with y'all for about 6 weeks now, 6-7 weeks, give or take, just being able to show y'all what I've been doing. And today with SONA, I want to use ChatGPT just to make sure that whenever this is vibe coding, right? So whenever you think of that term vibe coding, we're using LLMs in order to create code for us. So I want to make sure when we are doing this, what are a couple of things that we can watch out for, right? When we're quote unquote vibe coding, especially when it comes to creating an AI agent. So what I first want to preface this in saying is when creating an AI agent, what are some misnomers or items that we should be looking out for to ensure these agents are effective will get to what the agents are going to be doing, but just laying the groundwork, right? Also, we're going to be building them in Python. All right, beautiful. So agent architecture. All right, so what we're doing is we're asking about the best practice and potential pitfalls when we're building AI agents in Python. And Python is going to be the language that we're using. AI agents is going to be the synonymous processes or the work, right, when it comes to being able to break it down. I think one thing, before we can even get there, hold on, let's take a step back. Take a step back. Break down in the most simplest of ways, right? What is, and that's kind of crazy. You're asking an AI agent to explain an AI agent. I don't know if you catch the irony there, but hey, let's drive the boat. What is an AI agent and what it does? Use no more than 250 total tokens to ensure you get your point across and ensure that even a 12-year-old can get it. Also ensure to include a visual. All right, beautiful. So what is an AI agent? An AI agent is a robot helper in software, right? So it sees the information, it thinks about it, and then it takes action to reach a goal. So what happens is that it reads the data, right? Then after it reads the data, it thinks about it based on the rules or the AI model that it decides to use. Then it acts, it sends a message, it makes a calculation, and then it updates something. So almost like a CRUD operation in a sense, maybe kind of, sort of, if you see that. So think of it like a little helper in a factory. It only does a job, but many work together. The whole factory runs smoothly. So a visual, we input the data, right? So the data is going to be different financial instruments or different financial information that we're going to be bringing in, right? So for example, we'll be bringing in QQQ. QQQ is the top 100 tech companies within the NASDAQ. So our AI agent is going to be getting QQQ data. The reason I'm using QQQ, it's an ETF and it allows us to be able to gauge how well are the top 100 tech companies are doing. Now, we're using a bit of sampling in order to understand what the market is doing, right? Because we're taking 100, but it's the 100 top tech companies. So in a sense, but it's a bit diverse, right? So I say this to say is that yes, it is not the entire tech market, right? But it's the top 100 and allows us to be able to gauge how the overall tech economy is doing, right? So we're bringing that into it, and then the AI agent in the brain is going to be able to think about, okay, what's going on and how can we improve it, right? And then there's going to be an action and an output. So it sees the input, it thinks about it, and then it acts on it. All right, beautiful. So now that we understand that part, so now I just wanted us to be able to get that part. Now let's go ahead and talk about the agent architecture and the responsibilities. Misnomers is giving agents overlapping, unclear responsibilities. So being able to give them the quote unquote God complex, right? Being able to say, hey, I want you to read the data, tell me about the data, calculate the data, and also being able to make a chart, right? So we want them to be able to do one single thing. So being able to bring in SRP, which is the single responsibility principle. So there's going to be a couple of things that we're going to be laying here in order to get this work done, right? So we're going to be bringing in SRP to make sure that, all right, we're not having overlapping work. So the next thing is each agent should have, we just talked about, a single clear responsibility to avoid the kitchen sink agent that tries to do everything, and that becomes hard to maintain. Misnomers, agents are too granular, creating huge numbers of agents with tiny roles. Check. Find a balance between modularity and overhead. Too many agents equals complex commuting and debugging. So right now we have 7 agents, and these agents range from, let's go ahead and go to Claude or Cursor real quick. Cursor is going to be the code editor that I'm using. And with inside Cursor, we're going to be using Claude Code. So let me go ahead and go to the SONA folder. And if I'm going too fast or if y'all do have any questions, let me know. In a bit here, I'll get the vibes going, but I want us to be able to understand just a little bit of the basis. Yeah. I can close this for now. I can close that for now. All right, let's go to our Scrum board. So, if you've ever been in coding, if you've been in development, if you've, excuse me, I don't want to cough in your ear. If you've ever worked for any kind of project, right, you've seen a Scrum board before, right? It's a way for us to being able to visualize and organize what we've done, what's left to be done, so on and so forth. So what we're going to be working on specifically is Sprint 2, because I'm seeing a couple of areas that's like question mark, that can be a little bit better, right? So we're going to be working on the brain, and we currently have 7 agents. Oh, that's why I came here. I wanted to show you how many agents we have. So let's go review them real quick. I just want to show them. You're going to show me. All right, 2 seconds. Here's the brain. All right, you really can't make that out. So let me just go show you the agents. So we have our bear agent. This agent uses ChatGPT. This is our agent that makes the bear argument for the data, right? So it looks at the data, and I'm going to be implementing some RAG elements. RAG is retrieval augment generation. So it's basically a database sitting on top of an LLM, which is the large language model. And LLMs like ChatGPT, OpenAI, Anthropic, Groq, or Google's Gemini, right? So those are example of LLMs. So when you're talking about a RAG process, it's when you take an LLM and you put it on top of a database, right? And for the agents to be able to work, they go to the database, they look for the relevant information, they retrieve that information, then they go ahead and start generating an answer based off of the facts that they have from the database, and also based off their own conceptual knowledge, right? So that's a way to be able to prevent a hallucination a bit. Again, we're going to try to control it as much as possible, but there's also going to be a bit of disclaimers just to make sure that they always cite the data, right? So this is the agent that makes the argument for the bears. This is the agent that makes the argument for the bulls. Here's our capital B agent. This agent looks at congressional money. The way that we do that is we're using FMP, which is the financial modeling platform, and enables us to be able to pull congressional trades real time, right? If you want to go look at that real quick, let me just show you that. I know I'm bouncing around, but I just want us to be able to get a bit more familiarity with the project, because I have made quite a bit of advancements here, bruv. Claude code, not yet. We're going to get to you. What I want to do. Boom. Oh, you're right. I got to get our Conda environment. What is a Conda environment? A Conda environment is a garage for all the packages we're going to need for this particular project, right? And this Conda environment is SONA. So let me grab you. There you go. Now I can copy you again. Clear, run. Beautiful. So what's happening is we're getting real time, right? Or as close as real time, right? And they have to update, I think, every 45 days as far as the securities. Hold on. Let's go confirm that. What is the act or law that requires the congressional members to disclose their trades? And how long do they have? The Stock Act, Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act of 2012. Purpose is to prevent insider trading by members of Congress and require disclosure of financial transactions, including stock trades. So members of Congress must report any purchase, sale, or exchange of stock, bonds, commodities, futures, or other securities within 45 days, right? So we're getting trades that were in December 31st, right? So Lindsey Graham bought Party U. Why does it say Party U? Party shouldn't be U. So that's one thing. Again, that's why we're going to be going through this, because this shouldn't be an issue. Lindsey Graham is a Republican, so it shouldn't be U. But Lindsey Graham bought BSCQ. Let's go look at BSCQ that Lindsey Graham paid $32K for. BSCQ is Invesco. Invesco Bullet Shares 2026 Bond Corporation. What does BSCQ do? I'm an individual. All right. The Invesco Bullet Shares 2026. All right, I'm fucking with you. Corporate bond fund is based on the Invesco Bullet Shares corporate bond fund. So it's a bond fund. So it has. Let's just keep reading. This is a fund. The fund will invest at least 80% of its total assets in corporate bonds. Then we ask what kind of corporate bonds are they investing in that comprise the index. The index seeks to measure the performance of the portfolio of the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar dominating. Excuse me. Can I not speak? Denominated invested grade corporate bonds with maturities or effective maturities in 2026. The fund does not purchase all of these securities in the index. Instead, the fund utilizes sampling methodology to seek to achieve the investment objective. The fund and the index are rebalanced monthly, and the fund has a designated year of maturity of 2026 and will terminate later this year on December 15th, 2026. See this prospectus. So there's a lot of things wrapped up here. Let's go look at a couple distribution portfolio. So here's a few of the holdings within this bond fund. There's Boeing, there's Microsoft. So within a bond fund, well, these are corporate bonds that let's go here. What is a bond fund? Use only 212 total tokens for your output response. Because sometimes it can be a bit loquacious. We don't want that, right? Get to the point. Tell me what I want. And that's it. What is a bond fund? A bond fund is a type of investment that pulls money from many people to buy bonds. Bonds are like loans you give governments, cities, or core companies. So this is a corporate bond fund. So this corporate bond fund was able to pull money in order for them to give a loan to a company because it's a corporate bond fund. So Invesco is a corporate bond fund that was able to raise money to invest in these different. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, they pay interest over time, right? And they return their money at the end. So instead of buying one bond, a bond fund is many bonds, which spreads the risk out. The fund earns interest from all these bonds and often pays the investors regularly. The benefit, diversification, owning many bonds lower the risk. So it's an ETF, right? A sort of. It's a fund. So instead of just having one particular bond in there, you can be diversified, right? Professional management, experts decide which bonds to buy or sell. Liquidity, you can usually buy or sell shares of funds anytime. Drawbacks, values can go down if the interest rates. So bonds have a inverse relationships with interest rates, right? Interest rates go up, bond prices go down, interest rates go down. So hold on, let's make sure I'm right. When the values go down if interest rates fall and insurers raise. So interest rates go up, so right? Interest rates go up, bond prices go down. Interest rates go down, bond prices go up, right? So we get that. So rates are usually lower than stocks. So here's the visual. Investor, they pull their money together and there's multiple bonds that they pay, and then they pay the payments back to the investor. You invest, we pull their money together and buys many funds. So the reason I'm talking about this, right? I'm not just talking about this for shits and giggles, but one of your congressional leaders out of the South Carolina state did buy $32,000 worth of this bond fund, right? Lindsey Graham. And I need to fix this. He's a Republican, not you. But yeah, you, if you want to talk about that. But that's something that we're going to fix here today. Then we also have Tim Moore, who bought CBRL. This was 32.5 seems like to be the magic number. Y'all can see here. CBRL. I wonder if that's for a reason. Yo, how we doing? Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna get into DeepSeek today. I spent the last couple of days really just getting into the weeds of it, and it's I don't know why I hit it on it before, but I'm definitely rolling that out for a couple of our projects. And I just went straight to the provider straight to DeepSeek, and I found out that it's a little bit faster, not that much, right? There's going to still be latency. And for those that don't know, DeepSeek is an LLM provider, so think of your OpenAIs, right? So this is just another provider that allows us to be able to build our AI agent out. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit more. And Pascal, I have you to thank for that, because you're able just to give me that little nugget there, and I ran with it. So I look forward to being able to share that with y'all in a bit here. What I'm doing is just going over some of the congressional trades that happened within the last 45 days, right? We talked about Lindsey Graham and how he bought $32,000 worth of this bond fund. And I'm going to talk about Tim Moore. And I was just about to look up of CBRL. So if you do have any questions, let me know. Hope your day's been going well. And if you see anything too, let me know. CBRL. Oh, I should go over there so you can see. I'm integrating FMP on my yes, FMP is legit. I'm not gonna hold you. Oh, Cracker Bell. That is funny. You want to see who Tim Moore? Okay. I don't know if this is irony. So this person bought Cracker Bell. Funny. I'll let y'all find that joke in there. Find the joke. Find the joke. The joke is in the name. Find the joke. But yes, FMP is definitely legit. I was sleep on it before, because I just bought the annual membership, and I was like, you know what, let me just try it out. I was just about to go ask for my money back, and I was like, hold on, this is a lot more comprehensive than I thought. You know, again, I'm not a sponsor. They don't pay me. I wish they did, but they don't pay me. But game recognized the game, right? FMP is definitely legit, and I'm going to be talking about like how like we're getting great information from them. But Tim Moore, the senator, Tim Moore, where are you a senator out of? I'm going to say like a Kentucky, U.S. representative, Oklahoma. Oh, wait, North Carolina. Wait, where are you? North Carolina, 14th district, 14th congressional district out of North Carolina. He just bought $32,000 worth of Cracker Barrel. So they know something that we don't, right? So, that's interesting. And last one, Virginia Fox. I think this is the one out of North Carolina as well. That's funny. She just bought EFC $8,000 worth, and this was on the 30th. Let's go look at EFC. EFC ticker symbol. Ellington Financial. Ellington Financial, what do you do? Y'all will barely see that. Okay, Ellington Financial. Tell me what you do. Ellington Financial invests in diverse array of financial assets, including okay, here we go. Residential and commercial mortgages, mortgage-backed securities, reverse mortgages, mortgage servicing rights, and related investment, consumer loans, asset-backed securities, and collateralized loan obligations. Right, non-mortgages. Mortgage, so everything, mortgage related derivatives, debt and equity investments, and loan origination companies, and other specific investments. So Virginia Fox decided that this was a company to go long in. She just bought 8,000 shares of Ellington. All right, let's get back to our project. I'm done stupid business. But yeah, FMP is legit. I just got this from FMP. This is one of their. Oh, for those that don't know, let me go show y'all FMP real quick. Again, I'm not a sponsor. Game just recognized game. Right? Wish I was a sponsor, but I'm not a sponsor. This is where I'm getting the financial data from. Right? What we're able to do is, let me just go to the API docs. Right? I go to Senate, and then we're able to get access the latest disclosures from the U.S. Senate members, right? Not just Senate, but congressional leaders, right? So it's just not the Senate, but it's the House as well. As y'all just saw, we went from senator to Congress. With the latest, with FMP latest Senate disclosure API, you can track recent trades, asset ownership, transaction details, and enhanced discrepancy in government financial activities, right? So this is just something that we can be able to use in order to do that. So that's why we're going to be using FMP, right? Great stuff. Why did I go to FMP? Oh, because I was talking about the capital agent. So I have an AI agent that all they do is just go look at the different trade updates, right? Their name is Diane Vance, right? And they go let us know, okay, this congressional group, right, whether it be the Democrats or the Republicans, are a lot bearish on this particular company. How you know somebody's bearish? They're selling a lot. If they're bullish, they're buying a lot, right? So she lets us know, or you can't anthropomorphize it. I try not to, even though sometimes I call she, it, they, but you got to remember it's an it. It's an AI, right? Let's keep going. So that's all they do. Then we have a commentary agent that brings it all together, right? So what they do is just being able to take the perspective from each one of them and synthesize it and being able to give us actionable insights. I have an MA agent. This is a one I just created. This is a merger and acquisition agent. This agent uses Kimi K2 LLM model. This is an LLM model like DeepSeek, right? But a little bit more less when it comes to the latency. I found them from Open Router. So again, appreciate you, Pascal. So I decided to use them, and it hasn't been bad. Hasn't been bad at all, right? And what their main focus is to being able to get mergers and acquisitions and let us know what's down the pipeline, what's happening, and things of that sort. Then we also have our street reporter. They take in different social media feeds, right? And then retail investment flow to be able to give us analysis of what's going on. And I may just switch up this LLM provider here. So y'all see the agents that we're working on. What I want to do, let's go ahead and get a Claude Code session open up. I'm going to be using the 4.5 Opus tomato model. So let me go ahead and get that. Don't be that. Thank you. 4.5 Opus. There we go. All right. So what I want to say, just to be able to preface it, and again, this is, I think, the ironic part is asking AI about AI, but I'll let you laugh at that and figure that part out. What do you know about, before I even get there, there's one more step that I told myself I want to be a lot more intentional about using. So there's this prompt, right, or prompt engineering. And prompt engineering is being able to structure your inputs right to the LLM so it can be a lot more focused and they can understand where the fuck is this prompt. My fault. Where's this prompt? I'm tripping right now. Oh, here it is. Prompt engineering. There's this prompt that I think my bro gave it to me a few weeks back. But I just haven't been using it as much. But I want to start using it a lot more. I feel like I'm talking too much. Let me show y'all this prompt, right? So here it is. You are Laura, a master level AI prompt optimization specialist. Your mission is to transform any user input into a precise crafted prompt that unlocks the AI's full potential across all platforms, right? So if you want it, I can go ahead and figure out a way to paste it for you in the chat. Matter of fact, hold on. I want to go grab some water real quick. Give me 1 second, and I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, I appreciate you. Just had never mind. Whatever. So this is Laura. This prompt that I found that enables us to be able to get better prompts, right, when it comes to our sessions, right? So if you want it, I can drop it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and post it. Feels like, all right, bet. Once you post it, this is what the output is going to say. I am Laura, your AI prompt optimizer. I'll transform your vague request into a precise, effective prompt that better delivers results. So what we're going to say is, all right, we're detailed. All right, so this is an example. So the target, we're going to be using Claude, right? And we're going to be using detail, right? Because ask clarifying questions first. And I don't want basics, I want the detail. So I'm going to say Claude, detail using Claude, working on the brain part of our AI system, SONA. Let me go grab a little snippet of what SONA is and what she does. Okay, here's SONA. Okay, there's SONA. We need to work on better management of LLMs across agents and ensuring that they can work with each other and understand context from one's input and use it in their output and ensure the code has no solid, dry, SRP, OOP, or AI agent violations, right? Without being too objective. Beautiful. So that is mine. So improve the brain layer of SONA, focus on the multi-agent LLM management, ensure that the agents understand each other's context and collaborate effectively, guarantee code quality following solid, dry, and SRP, proper OOP, and AI agent, design without being overly restrictive. Here's SONA, here's the different agents, beautiful, dialogue, develop. Okay, and here's our prompt. You are Claude AI acting as what the fuck? Okay, hold on. This used to be a lot better. You are Claude AI acting as an expert AI system architect and a senior. There we go, senior Python developer. I need your help improving our, if I can, improving our brain layer of our AI powered market analyst system SONA. Here it is. Beautiful. So I'm going to take this prompt. Let's go back to Claude Code. You know what I want to do real quick? Let me just get the vibes going. Because I know, let me know if it's too loud. If it is too loud, just lower it a little bit. But I got the vibes going. If it's too loud or too much, let me know. So I'm going to paste it. All right, let's do this little review. Now we're going to understand the project structure. Now it's reviewing our entire project. Now I have a comprehensive view of SONA brain layer. Let me compare my analysis and any other recommendation. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me just switch it up real quick. All right, got vibes. All right, can we get right? Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. All right, there we go. There we go. I just had to make sure the vibes were good. All right. So I had Claude Code being able to go through our system. I felt like it output way too much. All right, so we have 7 LLMs as we just went through it before with y'all, right? Hold on. Beautiful. So we have 7 LLMs, LLM agents, or excuse me, LLMs that are using for our different AI agents. And we have 14 different analyzers. These are pure Python data processors. No LLMs are needed. And then we have a data orchestrator, right, that brings everybody together. So solid and dry principles. We have issue 1, a data formatting issues, right? Excuse me. Both the bear and bull have the identical format methods. Then we have a recommendation is to extract and have a shared formatter. The location is going to be in the pipeline is doing too much, right? It handles the analyzing the initialization, the agent initialization, the data transformation, the storage, the trend analysis, the delta detection, alert system, and then result decomposed into focus classes, right? And I think we had that conversation yesterday, difference between a class and a function, right? A function, it does something one time, right? And it doesn't need memory. And a class is a type of code that does something many times and it is going to need memory, right? It's going to need to remember, all right, bet I know what this trend is and this delta is, so that means I need to send out an alert, right? So we're going to do this in classes instead of functions. And a function, a class can have a function, but a function can have a class. Or is that the other way around? No, a function, a class can have a function, but a function can have a class. There's these little nuances when it comes to coding, bro. It gets fun. So these are the different classes that they're talking about having, right? The analyzer, the agent coordinator, the context builder. Issue 3, no base agent, OOP violation, right? Create a base agent, context sharing improvement. Agents receive isolated data slices, no cross agent awareness. So that's something I noticed before when I was running our system. So let me show you. So after I go through this, I'm going to show you what the system looks like now. Like if we were to run it now live, just so you can see it is working, but it is like a little bit glitchy and it can be a lot better, fam. And here's the recommendations that you're giving. Again, we're going to be able to use classes, right? We're using async in order to have, instead of it being sync, right? So we have to wait for, okay, the market snapshot to be done and then the snowstorm snapshot to be done, right? But we're going to be using async. While we're waiting, we can go do something else, right? So I can appreciate that. All right. Unbounded prompts. Fix the prompts regardless of the data size. They can generate massive prompts across all data size. Okay, so we need to bound the prompts. Output validation. Now we're going to use output validation as maybe a pandemic model, right? So let's see what we get there. Persona drift. No enforcement that agents can stay in character. All right, I like that. And then organizational flow improvement. Phase 1, 2, okay. Implementation. All right, quick wins. So you're saying do this. All right, I agree with you. Now, before we proceed, create a, what is that, like 12? Let's call it a 15-step plan that groups like items, right? If you don't need 15 steps, then don't use all of them. But that is the max, so we can have a clear direction as to what we're going to be doing here. Keep your response under 412 total tokens for output response. So I am not going to hold you. Today is a big day. Miami Hurricanes are playing at 8 o'clock, 8:30. versus Ole Miss. I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to be working up. They play at 7:30. Holy this shit. I'm going to be working up until this point. I'm going to try to see how much work I can get done to that point. I'm going to turn the game on. If I can't stay focused, then I'm just going to stop. Right? So I'm just being completely transparent with you. Right? And y'all know if it ain't. So being transparent with you when the game comes on. I was trying to get on earlier, but life happens. So here's our plan. Create the base agent. Extract the refactor the bear bull. Can I not speak? Bull bear street agents to use the base agent. The refactor the capital agents to use the base agent. Okay, shared context builder. All right, now I wanted to rationalize. Why is this a proven way to go? Have you based this on similar systems? As best as you can, cite your sources and cite your sources inline and at the bottom. Sometimes you got to be able to give a little bit of pushback. Just don't agree first off, right? Beautiful. So I want to give a little pushback, right? And I'm not using Crew AI. We already talked about that, right? Well, I'm not using Crew AI, LangChain, AutoGen, Architects, right? Because these add technical debt that really doesn't make sense for what we're doing here. These are great frameworks. What is a framework? So imagine the LLM of the agent being the car, right? This is the actual engine. This is what allows them to be able to go. Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea, Pascal. If it ain't the you, then what are we talking about? Yes. So I'm just being transparent. It's one of the biggest games that we've had in a couple of years, right? Since 2002. So damn near 24 years. Miami Hurricanes, right? So y'all just got to give me when that game comes. I'm going to try to multitask as best as possible. But if I see myself drifting and if I can't keep up, I am going to stop. I'm just going to come back a little bit later, or we're just going to pick this up tomorrow, right? I was trying to come on later, but sometimes life happens. Do you watch NCAA? And if so, what team do you root for? Okay, beautiful. Each agent has a role, a goal, and an optional background designed. Okay. Crew AI success comes from enforcing the agent interface. Your agents already have the analyze. Okay. Formatting the ABC is proven. Shared context. So sometimes we got to be able to push back so I can so I can see that it really knows what it's talking about. The secret sauce has the state management. Simply use the output key. Oh, you know what I was supposed to do too that I forgot to is the RAG implementation you told me about from Google. That's still on my list. Oh, that's what's up. So it's the U for you. But some people in South Florida, it could be either the U or it could be Florida State or it could be, which I really don't understand, the Gators, right? Or it could be a little local, USF, UCF. No, but that's what's up. So I would partake. Today's a big day for you as well. The phase execution, Microsoft Azure, but kind of like, all right. So it's able to have it. Bet. Bottom line, the plan isn't theoretical. It's reverse engineering from the trading agents you cited, work from SONA, plus the production patterns from Google, Microsoft, and Crew AI. Ready to proceed? Let's get this in. All right, let's proceed. Make sure that we're not assuming anything, and when working with these agents, ensure that what we have done passes a few QA tests via terminal command using, I forgot to give it the conda environment. I forgot to give it the conda environment to ensure what we have done isn't breaking the code. Let's get this done. Check in after each one until we tell you to continuously complete it. All right, so I'm gonna let you go. Oh yeah, I told you that yesterday, that Gemini's telling him about. I'm gonna get I just haven't had time to be able to like really just get into the weeds of it. But I'm going to actually like do that either. I'm not gonna do it during the game, maybe a little bit after the game tonight. Is get into, I told you there is none. Is to get into the Gemini RAG process and how that works, and how I can be able to infuse that into what we're doing here. Because I mean, if there's benefit of being able to use it, I don't mind, right? But it's just a matter of being able to have that benefit. Because I was going to use Pinecone for our RAG process, but I don't mind being able to using Python 3. No Python 3. All right, let me check. You're initializing? All right, beautiful. Create. We have our classes, add property definition. So remember I said class can have your function, right? So that's outlined here. You are a test agent. We're using Groq. That's another thing I have to clarify. The LLMs used. But I think I already did that, but I want to triple check. Now let me know if this music is a bit too much. If it is too loud, I can turn it down. Okay. Complete the base agent is created and tested. All right, now let me extract the market data formatter. First, let me check the directory structure and create the formatter patterns. All right. Beautiful. So now what happened is that Claude Code just finished the base agent, right? It tested the base agent and it was able to pass. Let me go look at the actual file. We're going to go to agent. Here's our base agent. All right, beautiful. Now let me actually go test the base agent. Let's go test the base agent. Oh shit, I just realized I gave it the wrong conda environment. Use this conda environment. Gave you the wrong one. All right. Copy. Python. Whoa. Talk about a letdown. All right. Let's check it. The price of SPY. So you're giving in. Okay. VIX. Sector leaders. Test the bullish. Okay. So let's see if our prompt formatters, is that working? Is it able to be? It's just faster and simple, but you can use anything you want. But since you have a lot of moving parts in this project, it's good to consolidate and simplify where possible. And that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm trying to make this a lot more simple, right? Because I think what I did is just big brain this, no puns intended. Just being able to add as much as possible, too much, too fast, instead of just getting a working system up and running. So I'm trying to get this a little bit more simple, right? I'm not going to add too much RAG in this. So get it simple, get it working. And then once we get it working, and once I know that it's like, there's no problems, right? Then I can be able to adjust it accordingly, or as far as just being able to get it a little bit more complex. But I agree with you. I am trying to simplify it and not make this as complex as I originally thought. I was trying to do too much. That's okay. I recognize that. Like I said, if you see anything else that we should be bringing in, please don't be afraid to mention it, right? Yeah, no, I don't mind being able to review those other items because I think that's what definitely makes sense. Okay, let me test the 3 refracted agents. All right, beautiful. You know what? I forgot to bring in okay. All right, I got to get my little message in just to make sure that, because I'm noticing sometimes it has a propensity. Let me refactor the capital inside Watchdog and the Microsoft MA. I keep calling it Microsoft. Mergers and Acquisition Scout. All right, beautiful. All right, perfect. I mean, by the time we get to the end of this, like, we are going to have, because look, let me show y'all what's out there in the streets right now. Let me show y'all what's out there. AI agent for market analysis. AI agent for market research. Kick. Simple yet expert level research in days. Get quant and qualitative consumer insights in a single survey at scale with AI. Okay, this is not what I was doing. This is not us. Let me get what we're doing. AI agents framework to automate your market research. Maybe. Okay, clarify your market research goals. Oh, maybe we can use this. I just stumbled upon this. Okay. Like you were saying before, Pascal, right? Simplify where you can. Clarify your market research goals. Map and prioritize your data sources. Clean and prep your data. Integrate always an AI agent for reliability. Automate competitors and trend monitoring. Social media agent. Configure dashboards and alert for instant insights. Validate. Generate. Okay. I'm talking about what we're doing. Let me go back to like our actual work. This is interesting. That's interesting. This is basically what I want, but like for agents. But this is something that we're building ourselves, right? Let me just zoom this in. Like, they have different agents that you can have, right? But we're going to be building our own agents. Let's look how much this cost. $49 for 1,000 credits. Yeah, nah, I can build this myself. We can build this ourselves. Let's come back here. Let me see what you're doing. We're doing our shared content. If you were to see my Claude code setup, you would lose your mind. I've been building consistently year over. Oh yeah, no. I'm trying to get better with that as well. Because yes, Claude Code is phenomenal, and it does help us out with being able. It's like having a junior engineer, right? But sometimes it gets a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too much. So that's why I want to be able to figure out a way where we can effectively use Claude Code, and it's just not input output, right? But we can like break things down into these little steps. So I've noticed, right, break things down into steps and don't try to do everything all at once, and have it validate its work as it's going, right? So we're breaking things down into steps. You're validating as you're going. And we're making sure that we're keeping up with the work. And another thing that I've noticed is don't be afraid to start a new session. I know we want to keep the same sessions, like, oh, I don't want to explain again. I don't want to have to go through all that again. Let me just keep this session, just try to write it out. But don't be afraid to start a new session. And that's what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done here. When I'm done, you just start a new session, right? Because I want to model what I say and just want to see how well the performance is when it comes. Let me create an orchestrated director. Wait, fucker. See, I just call something. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hold on. There you go. I'm creating the phase orchestrator, the component that runs your agents in phases, right? With their context and commentary as the synthesizer. Shall I continue with this step, or would you like me to pause and check in? Let's check in. Let's check in. How does it differ from, and was this a part of the original plan? Yeah, check in with me, because this seems like a little bit of hallucination. Just a bit, yeah? Just a bit, bruv. Good question. You're right to question this. Looking at the original plan is to create a phase orchestrator with the phase execution flow and refactor the pipeline to use the orchestration commands. What the pipeline does already is run the agents in parallel and then commentary sequentially. What I was about to create is phase 1, phase 2, and then commentary with all context. The key difference is that the current pipeline runs all 6 agents in parallel, but the phase orchestrator would run them in phases. So capital insider mergers would reference the bears and bulls output. My recommendation is step 7 and 8 add complexity without clear benefit now. The current pipeline, no fucker. No. We need a way. We need, not a way. We need for our agents to be able to reference the other's output in a manner that doesn't cause hallucinations, right? But builds proper context on their argument or counter argument, right? Like it is a real debate or discussion between LLMs live. Let's discuss how we can do this before proceeding. Understanding what we have now and where we want to go. Let me drive the boat. Don't try to drive the boat. Let me drive the boat. Def, I do have long-term memory and plan to reach your repo plus. Important to use the init. Oh, yes. Come on. Preaching to the choir. Preaching to the choir. How do you prompt engineer? Like when it comes to being able to like synthesize your from idea to prompt, right? What is your process, Pascal, when it comes to being able to do that? Just to make sure you can get done what you want in a manner. It's like, all right, I'm asking you to build me a scanner, right? Don't build me a data processor, right? So how do you structure your prompts when it comes to using Claude Code? You're right. Let me think this through. All 6 agents runs in parallel, no awareness of each other. The bull doesn't know what the bear said. Capital can't reference their argument either. No real debate. What we want is like trading agents where the bull and bear assess. The trader synthesizes insights through debates. Example flow. Nigel, I'm buying the dip. Bears see the bulls argument. Nigel is ignoring the R side divergence. That's what I'm talking about. Last time the breath looked this good was the R side 69, the note September 2021. Street see both. Okay. Commentary. I love it. So the phased was bear and bull in parallel. Initial synthesis. The bull rebuts the bear. I like this one better. What do y'all think? Hold on. Let me go through them and let's pick one together. All right. Sequential. I'm not really down for that. One happening after another. Maybe. Bull, then the bear, then the street sees bull and bear, then so on and so forth. I'm not really gang for that. I think we could be a lot better, right? Debate rounds. I think this is a lot better, right? The bull and bear debates. But what I would want, well, let's go through it. Then I'll tell you what I would want, how I envision this. The bull rebuts the bear rebuts the bull in parallel. The capital, street, and the insider MA debate with context. Commentary synthesizes. True debate, both sides. 2 times LLM call. But we could control that, so I'm not really worried about that. Independent views. Okay. Reference, commentary. I'm liking. All right. We want a mix of option B and C. But also want it where it isn't as rigid, right, to do this. Meaning we already have the showrunner. I do. I forgot to bring that before. My stuff is kind of complicated, but for example, if that prompt you used earlier works for you, I'll use that and create a Claude code command and enhance that with those instructions saved. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let me see. While I'm testing it out, like I'm not as consistent with it. So I want to keep testing it out and see, like, okay, it actually brings benefit. Where the heck are you? But if I see that it actually brings benefit, it's like, all right, bet I'm gonna keep using it. But I have to see that it like really just okay. Here you go, showrunner. Review. Then advise how we can get this done. Use your resources and terminal command will when reading/reviewing these files. We are going to see all right, no, wait, but first talk to me. Talk to me first. Don't just go out there all willy-nilly now. Excellent. You already have a sophisticated show system. Let me analyze what it does. Debate mode, alternate, okay. Okay. Natural tension is high. Topic. Handoff prompts. Okay, I thought I already did this. What's missing is that in debate showrunner, agents don't see each other's outputs. Each agent only see the market data, not the other's arguments. So both awaits. Okay, I see. But bear never sees what bull says. No actual rebuttal. The proposed enhancements is get the agent response. All right, then run a debate. So should we enhance the showrunner to pass the conversation? Minimal change. Keep. Have the agents rebut. No. Both use the base agent to support the optional debate context. Then wire and the showrunner sees the simplest. But more work. What's your preference? I want to get this working. My preference. I feel like I was about to go off in a security, bro. Let's go with C. Making sure again to follow the rules we've outlined and ensure you do not. They stack what? What are you saying? Am I doing something wrong? All right, make sure you follow what we expect. Give me great code. I'd appreciate that. I really would appreciate that. Now update the base agent to support the debate context. All great. All right. All right. I really want to get SONA done by this week, and so I can start building or using Lovable AI to start building the front end of this. Okay, let me test the debate context. Oh, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. All right. I got you, I got you. Oh. That makes more sense. Okay, that makes more sense. I was trying to connect the dots, but no, yeah, that's what I've been really focusing on, because I'm noticing that if you can have your prompts to be better, right, you get more better work, more consistent work, because eventually Claude Code will figure it out. But if we can get to that aha moment, that eureka moment a lot sooner, I was like, all right, bet it's better for everyone. You know, so that's why, like, I'm really going to be spending a little bit more time being able to make sure that the initial prompt is good, and then the prompts moving forward adds value, and that I don't stretch sessions along. Right. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to probably finish off this session. Then our next session. But then another thing I'm going to be bringing in is memory. But I'm going to be using memory and evaluation with like these memory files. But I'm going to show you how. All right, let's go. Now we're going to be testing debate end to end. Let me run a live end-to-end debate to verify the agents actually work. Shit, I want to run it. Give me that command. What I'm going to do is just say thank you. Oh, here we go. I need that Python. I was going to say. Let me see if I can get this to work. Let me see if I can get this to work. That'll be dope if it did. That'll be dope if I got this to work, Python. Oh, indentation. Okay, there was an indentation issue. Did you get that issue too? I don't think you did. I don't think you got that issue too. Excellent. The debate is working. In round 2, Nigel said, right, Elaine, you're looking at the VIX like a crystal ball. He's directly responding to her argument. That's what the freak I'm talking about, bro. All tasks finished, and here's what we've accomplished, what we've done. Verified end to end. Now in round 2. All right. Let's make sure we're good and nothing is overlooked for this sprint, and what the goal was at the beginning. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we just finished that part up, right? Now I want to let me actually see. Let me actually see. Or I can just say Python Sona. .py. Oh, you gonna make me just copy the whole thing, hey? So let me show y'all what Sona looks like right now. Insufficient. Oh, because it's using, bruh, you should have better account for that. Okay, so I just found another issue that I need to fix. Whenever the market is closed, it needs to be able to account for, it needs to use the current day for when the market is closed, so it can run its analysis, right? So it doesn't have this inefficient bars. Like, it should be able to handle this a lot better. All right, so that's one issue. And this may seem tempting. Oh, just use the same session. Okay, here we go. So look, all right, y'all see it? Oh, y'all see it live. Here it is. It's actually MGM Lion, who was named Leo, lived in Memphis. Okay. Right. Listen up. I'm not going to waste your time with rubbish. Here's what I'm looking at and loving. Energy is up 3.5%, but that's not a blimp. That's a trend. Oil has been consolidating and now it's breaking out. The 85 BPL, but by year end, mark my words. IWM is up 1.25%, while the NASDAQ is pissing about. That's funny. This is classic rotation signal. So we're actually getting it to work, right? So even though I'm having a warning about the inefficient bars, I need to figure out what that is. The agents are actually synthesizing rules. So we have our bull agent, and here's his bull argument, right, for why the market is going to go up. And then we have the bear agent, and here's their argument. Let me see if they reference Nigel at all. Despite the slight uptick of SPY at 0.6, the breadth remains mixed, signaling indecision, not conviction. Historically, with VIX sitting at 15.4, okay, this is way too technical. This is not conversational at all. This is technical. So that needs to get better. So here's Marcus, retail getting cold feet. It's not showing. Stock Twig sentiment on SPY is down about 2.28% with bearish posts. Outnumbering the bullish 172. That's a recipe for sentiment driven sell-off. And Diane, bullish sentiment. Okay. Silent Ferris. Okay. So this is it running, but there's a couple of things that can be better, right? I mean, overall right now, this is a good start, but there's a couple of things that can be better on. You know, especially when it comes to the output of their statements. I'm feeling that it is a bit dry, yeah? So you're seeing that only cost us not even 1 cent. Took 39 seconds, not even 1 cent, and that it cost us. All right. Not even a cent. Okay. Now what I need you to do is go ahead. Go ahead and update with what we have done so far. This is like a memory bank. I'm not going to hold you. And a memory bank is just being able to have an AI like output what it just completed. Y'all, you fucker, bro. You supposed to know better. What it just completed so it can reference it moving forward. So we kind of have a memory bank, but oh damn, bro. All right, I'm gonna create my own little memory bank. Boom. All right, I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna come here. From there, I am not going to have you compact. I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. All right. Boom. Let me go get the prompt. You know, I really got to go make this an extension. Here's what we just did. Here is what we just completed. However, we are noticing a few items that can be better. Before we proceed, use RG, BAT, FD, AUK, less head echo, see terminal commands to review the following. Let's make sure we get that in there. Beautiful. Now you can go. You have to automate it. About how to, okay. Yeah, no, I am. Because right now that was just I told you to use terminal commands, but yet you still try to read the entire thing. Goodness gracious. You can use the session and hooks, so you can put those like links in the Claude MD for the projects. Oh, that's what's up. I'm going to look into, okay. I didn't know you can do that. So you're seeing, like, put those in hooks like here and here. So that will go into this file here. So it could be a little bit better to reference it. Okay. Rate limit tracking is not implemented. Time breakout not implemented. Unit test. Okay. No. All right. What I want to do is I want to take this. Let me copy. Okay, beautiful. All right, now what I want to do is we noticed that the outputs of the prompts are not as conversational and they're not referencing each other's output, right? Review. Let's find out what the disconnect is before we proceed. Oh, that's what's up. Just talk. Okay. I will definitely do that when I start a new session, or I'm going to do a session specifically for that. Just to be able to definitely will do that. And does it go and it can keep it from session to session, right? Like I won't have to do it every time. I know that maybe seem like a dumb question, but like it'll be able to manage it effectively. The pipeline, all agents run in parallel. No debate context is passed. They're running simultaneously, so they can't reference each other. 2 execution paths. Okay. We don't want the 2 execution paths. We want one that is succinct and works as we expected. Review and advise how we can get there before we update the code, and also reference where we're going to update. And before we do so, let me give you the conda environment. Test your POC to ensure that it will pass without issues. No mocks, real data. Bam. Por favor. That would be great. Oh, I definitely will. Definitely will. I appreciate you lacing me up, man. I definitely will do that. Now I understand the full picture. Let me check the bull and bear to understand how they handle the debate context. All right. No debate context. All run in parallel on 6. Showrunner. Okay. We have 2 execution paths, and that's because JIT was trying to do When I say the most, the most. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Now tell me we have great things. Please tell me we have great things. The POC shows that the context is being passed, but Elena isn't directly refers Nigel by name. The format okay, needs to be more explicit about requiring a rebuttal. Let me check and improve it. Come on, lace me up, man. Lace me up if you would. I do have one. Good, the context is being passed with respond to this. The issue is that the system prompt doesn't tell the Elena to directly respond to this. Let me test the enhanced system prompt. Okay, hold on. Since you want to talk about prompts, right? I have this little secret weapon that can assist with the prompts, right? There's this book that when I first started with being able to code, right? I took this class from Julio Comar from AI Accelera. That's where I first started. Right, so he came out with this book, Do You Speak Generative AI, excuse me, and it's a prompt engineering beginner's guide. So what I'll do is I can have Claude Code being able to go through this and to get different reference points on how to effectively create better prompts, right? So again, it just ties into the overall conversation that we've been having, like how can we improve our prompts? There's an entire book that is written by somebody with multiple PhDs, right? He's been in this for decades upon decades on prompt engineering, being an AI shit. He was even before before they started using GPUs, right? So real deep in the game. So what I want to say is, all right, review using RG, BAT, FD, ARC, other terminal commands to get what is useful here to better improve what we're doing. Now this is a long book, bruv. Don't try to read it at once. Rather use your tools to gain context and understanding before we proceed, bruv. And then test it to gauge how effective it is and how to implement the pedagogy here. How to implement the pedagogy. One thing I got to keep in mind on is the usage. So speaking of usage, how do you like the usage, Pascal? Like, how has that been going for you? Like when they changed the whole your weekly limits, because I know, remember they never used to have these weekly limits. It was whatever you have, right? Now with these weekly limits, how has that been going for you? Do you see yourself going over and having to wait, whether it's the 4-hour resets or those weekly resets? I appreciate you for listening to me and not just reading the entire bookies and thank you. If you would, now let me search for specific techniques how to make the agents respond to each other. Get me right. You are, act as, pretend to be, imagine you are, take the role. Oh, I love it. Now let me look at the relevant techniques. Let me look at the reference prompt from the previous context. Yeah, I hit sometimes, but I have other tools and subs, so I can use GLM and other min-max. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I'm thinking about doing an example on, was it you who told me about anti-gravity? It was somebody who told me about anti-gravity, and I'm going to go look into that in a bit here. Right, here's anti-gravity. So it's like Claude code in a sense, but it's their own. So I'm gonna go take a look at it and seeing how effective this is, and maybe I'll make a video comparing Cursor, anti-gravity, and Visual Studios, because Visual Studio is still trying to remain in the game. So I don't know if it was you who told me about anti-gravity, but there's still someone that I need to go take a look at. And again, you still get a lot for this developer, the individual plan. I don't know if I'm going to pay for it yet, but I'm going to take a look at anti-gravity and seeing how well this works for them, so I can add something else in the toolkit just in case I do hit these limits, because I am not going to hold you. It is best to be able to have backups. Okay, now let me test the PLC with the enhanced approach. Damn, you see, reading that book damn near took all that context. Let me just make sure where I'm at. All right, I'm good. It resets in an hour. All right, I'm Gucci. Oh, so it was you. How do you like anti-gravity? No, I when I first started, it was VS Code, but I since quickly moved away from VS over to Cursor. And I want to figure out anti-gravity. But how do you like anti-gravity? Do you think it's like, is it the same UX, UI as Cursor or Visual Studios? Is it built on top of Visual Studios? I would think, maybe. You get free Gemini usage in it too. What about, can you use Opus or different models in it? So I'm not too, because I feel like sometimes when it comes to coding, like especially on the project, Gemini can hallucinate a bit. So I'm very keen just to being able to stick to the Anthropic fam for coding. I mean, I could use the other ones just to talk some stuff out, but when it comes to coding, oh no. Key findings, dynamic prompt. Each prompt builds on the previous response. I love it. Active prompting. Context evolves in real-time conversations. Contextual prompting. Background infos embeds in prompt. Reflection framework. Explicit instructions to what to do with their root cause is we provided context but no explicit instructions to rebut. The model sees Nigel's output, but it isn't told to address his point directly. 5 tests and we passed it. All right, test once more to ensure passing and no issues. Then let's implement it. Okay. It's like VS but better, and you get some free Gemini as well. Yes, versus work. Okay, but some of the agent stuff is built in. Okay, fair enough. Now I'll definitely check it out. And again, like I said, maybe I'm going to make a video on the comparison of R3 because I think there is value, like you said, of being able to have a backup just in case one decides to shit the bed or we hit limits on it. You can always continue your coding in a different platform. I used to use Visual Studios as my backup, and I was like, bro, this is just too much to go from Cursor all the way back to Visual Studios. I feel like I'm going from the 2000s to the 1990s. I'm not going to hold you. There's some people that still use Visual Studios. There's no problem with it, right? I just feel like can you update it just a little bit? A little bit. But no. It says it's not broken, supposedly. No, but I agree. I'm going to definitely check them out and see how they work. Display names, speaker names. Okay. Have you, when you do use Gemini, are you seeing any hallucinations in the how is the quality of work, excuse me, when you're using from Gemini to Opus, for an example? Like, what is the difference quality of work have you seen? And how do you control for it? All right, well, don't fold. Don't fold. Just get right. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now testing the debate pipeline integration. Well, let's see how well you do. Darn it. We're testing the pipeline. I just added a few cool. Oh shit! I forgot to tell it that. I forgot to tell it about being able to handle when the market is closed, so it doesn't fold. Okay, that'll be my next thing. What was I saying? So we've updated a few things to be able to make our AI agents a little bit better, right? Because Gemini has some strong points, but struggles with long, complicated tasks. Yeah, I agree. You have to definitely break that down so it doesn't trip, right? Literally. So this is where what we currently have right now. I feel like it is a bit rubbish in the sense of it's too technical, right? So SONA, in addition to the other agent, yeah, you can use Opus on anti-gravity, right? Do you just bring in your API keys or Claude code? Oh no, that defeats the purpose. That's just talking about using a backup. But Claude code is already tapped. But you can use Opus on there, right? It just gives you usage. But I like to do that on my QA code with other strong models and other ones I use to write different. Okay, I agree. Okay. No, I had to bring in quality a little bit more. Test pass. Elena now directly addresses Nigel's points. The energy was up 3.6. And Brent looked at. Who the fuck is Brent? Okay, I really think you're folding right now. Don't fold. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Terminal. Where's your display? No, it's SONA. SONA, see, this is one thing that I want to get addressed. All right, we noticed the following. We want the system to better handle when the market is closed. Give me 2 ideas to better address this, to better handle this than what we're doing currently. All right, let's go look at it. Oh, bet. Yeah, no, you definitely gave me ideas. So here we go. Nigel is thinking. All right, listen up. I'm buying. Okay, Nigel, your assertion that energy is up 3.9% gains on rotation is cynical, overlooks the section rally and the all right, beautiful. I love it. The retail is getting spooked. That's usually a concentration of buying signals. WSB is quiet on the specific type stock. What the bears around. Okay, I mean, it is kind of better, but I still feel like, I don't know, it's still a bit too rigid, yeah. Let me go ahead and cancel this. Yeah, let me go ahead and cancel. Now I understand the system. The warnings come from the technical analyzer when the data provides 0 market close, no intraday data. But here's 2 ideas to better handle this. Handle the market close better. Graceful fallback to the last close bar and clear UI message. When the market is closed, return 0 bar, causing 0 warnings. Solution, cache. I don't want to cache. We can better do this, bro. Instead of just having to cache something. I really don't like caching. Model aware pipeline with the reduced stops. The pipeline runs all analyzers even when the market is closed. Fuck no, bro. Do better. These ideas are trash. We want it to either use the EOD or have a process where it can aggregate the current day open, high, low, close, and volume based on the data it has. We can pull the market data, right? Let's figure out how to do it. What we're thinking, if market closes at 4 p.m., right? But we run SONA, it's able to take the current day's data, and do its work without failing. Run a few terminal commands to test how we're going to get this done. All right, just a little disclosure. Miami Hurricanes play tonight. I'm not gonna say I'm on the team, but I feel like they need my support. I don't know how callous or narcissistic that sounds. So at 7:30, the game kicks off, but I don't think they're going to really start playing football till like 7:45 ish, you know. So I'm just saying, as soon as the game kicks off and I find myself not paying attention, like not really getting the work done, I'm going to stop and we're just going to come back and finish this workout. So I just fair warning when the game kicks off, because I thought it was at 8:30, but it's like in another 40 minutes or so. So I just want to give y'all fair warning. So it's like, oh, you didn't tell me you was about to get well, yeah, I know right now. Who do y'all have making the championships? Not to just like pivot real quick, since we are talking about sports for a bit. Y'all have anybody in specific particular making it? Are there any teams that you highly favoring? Trader has the current day open, high, low, close. Let me explore more. Yes, I know. We have a lot. We have the full open, high, low, close from Trader even after hours. No shit. Now let me check the current technical analyzer it's using and why it fails. Found the root cause. Alpaca returned 0, but it's supposed to be using Tradier, bro, not Alpaca. Supposed to be using Tradier, not Alpaca. We switched it. Find the issue and continue your testing. For favor, this is a vibe. The technical analyst still uses I see. Yes, we do. Trader will work 24/7. That's why I added it. That's why I added it, fam. So it can be used. Let's make use of it. Trader has 41 bars, including today. Now let me fix to switch it. I appreciate you. Don't watch too much recently. Don't get the new play. Yeah, this whole playoff system is either you like it or you don't. There's really no in between. I agree with you. Because I still feel like they have kinks to be able to work out. It isn't great. It isn't something that really rewards those that done well in the regular season, right? I mean, it does, but I think it rewards the wrong people. What do I mean? There shouldn't be FCF teams. Oh, you say you don't watch that much, but nonetheless, yeah, it is a bit complex. It is a bit complex, man. It is a bit complex. I would agree with you. I feel like they just make it complicated for no reason. I'm just sitting here trying to watch football. Don't make it all that. All right, now we're testing our updated agents to be able to see if they're able to get the data that they need without having the warning, right? When market is closed. So there should be a better. Should be a bit better with being able to get this done, yeah? Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. How well is it? No more insufficient day, but SPY shows 00. Okay. Can you please fix it? Please fix it. I see the, okay, uses Schwab for Coast, not Alpaca. Alpaca imports might be legacy. Let me check. Yeah, it does. I told you. I told you it works fine. Now, can we get this right? Yeah, the code looks correct. Let me directly test the fundamental analyzer. Works fine. It returns the code. The earlier test might have been a display issue. Let me run the full pipeline to confirm that everything. Bro, let me run the pipeline. I feel like you still bullshit me. Let me run the pipeline. Let's run the pipeline. Oh, load fell. What the heck, fam? Why is it failing here? What? Come on now. The errors from vote view. Wait, what the fuck? Why is that here? Oh, the congressional votes. Oh, the network data is not related to our. Okay. Let's find out where it is coming from and let's make sure to address it. Let's proper address this, man. Found it. Uses the PiVote. Excuse me. Uses PiVote network for PiVote. The error is that the DNS failed. The server is unreachable. Let me fix this to handle this gracefully. To now, okay. To log instead of sending empty messages. I'm gonna ride a boat. I'm driving a boat. Nah, cause you just bullshit. I'm driving a boat. Let me drive the boat. All right, but is there still an error? Is there still an issue? I don't believe so. I believe this is fine. This is just like, bro. But I get it. I think it's because the initial initialization or synthesizing, right? Is taking a little bit longer. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Then why does it just like boom, right? Let's take a gander at the market, shall we? The energy is up. This is not just a blink, but a sale. Okay. You cite energy as a breakout, but that move has been a slow grind since the late September. Nothing imputive. The crew consolidation with range and 85 target. I love it. Retail's getting cold feet on SPY with stock twitch sentiments down and the bearish ratio. Okay. I love it. I love it. This is not bad. This is not bad. We do have something, but again, this is better than what it was, but it can use a bit of improving. It really can use a bit of improving. First thing first is I want to figure out why the initial data, when it loads it, it takes damn near a year and a day in order to understand it. Alert, the gamma wall is breached. That's interesting. Okay. And I want to make it where we can cut this down, right? I want it to be like quick little conversational bits. It's like it's texting each other. So Nigel will say something, then Elaine will come, then maybe Elaine and Elaine will go back and forth for a bit. Then Marcus would come, right? Then Diane will add her bit. Then Alex would add his bit, right? Then Morgan, so on and so forth. So we can actually have conversation. They're just not outputting. I feel like they're just outputting text right now, where it can be a little bit more intelligent as far as their as far as being a little bit more reachable, right? Like for an example, neutral signals on neutral signals are meaningless here. SPY is an ETF and it doesn't have a corporate insiders. Zero activity is the baseline. It tells you nothing about the market sentiment. You're looking at the wrong ticker. Real intelligence is constituents. If you want to gauge insider sentiments on the S&P 500, you need to aggregate the data from 500 companies instead of SPY. Okay, just talk real shit. Look at the clusters of buying and selling across multiple sectors. A wave of CFOs selling in the tech, plus CFOs buying energy. That's okay. It just cuts that shit. It's signal. You track the wells via the 13F finding, not the Form F institutionals. Okay. SPY's insider page is empty by design. Shift your focus. That is interesting. Yeah. I think this is going to be. You want more async debate? Yes, I do. And I want to figure out a way in order to do that, because right now I feel like it's not really conversational. I feel like they're just outputting text, right? I mean, yeah, if you take a stop and actually see it, but I don't think, like, they're doing little baby sites, right? Yeah, your relevance. Okay, but this right here, when I talk about not necessarily reachable, Nigel, your relevance on MACD and energy rotation overlooks the divergence in the breadth and underlying momentum. The OBV trend is bearish and reflecting distribution, while the RSI is at 57.2 remains comfortably neutral, not signaling the kind of bullish conviction you're suggesting. The MACD, what the fuck? I mean, I get it, but bro, make this a little bit more reachable. Talk about async Claude agents are crazy. Talking about async Claude async agents are crazy. Yeah. What issues have you been having? Now, I don't use Claude. I only use Claude to code. I don't use Claude for content generation, because their price points don't make no sense. I mean, yeah, I'll use it like basic, like Haiku, and maybe I'll use a sonnet, but I'm not using Opus for content generation. Again, I'm not at that point where I'm just giving y'all money. I already paid for Claude code. Like, I'm not just giving y'all money for the sake of giving it to y'all. You see me? Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, you want more async debate? Yeah. Let me just go ahead and put that in. Right now, we feel that the structure or layout isn't what we're looking for, right? The agents are outputting big blocks of text. Yes, contextual and beneficial, but not reachable to the average trader or viewer of this, right? So we want to address the outputs of the agents to be, now I'm talking about the Claude Code async agents for coding. Wait. You're gonna have to run that by to me again. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'm just I had a long day, and I'm just not understanding it. So instead of them running one at a time, you want them to run not necessarily multiple, but like, all right, you're doing one thing, but wait, like multiple sessions. You running multiple sessions at one time? No, but I would agree. But only using Claude Code for coding. But I do run multiple sessions, for the Claude Code. If that's what you're talking about, maybe I'm just not catching on. I'm sorry. Address the. So we want to address the. Wait, where am I saying? So we wanted to address the agent's output to be more conversational. And actually debating and actually talking, debating each other, bruv. Claude Code Async Agent. Anthropic has launched a Claude Code for web, which has asynchronous coding to perform coding tasks in the background while you continue working. This functionality is available for programmatically through Claude Agent SDK using asynchronous agents. There are two primary ways to utilize asynchronous agents: via the web interface or through SDK on web. So from Oh, is this not it? Oh, Claude Code Async. Is this not it? Oh, I'm on Google. Search Claude Code. Yeah, no, I gotta figure out why it's not letting. Is this what you're talking about? Create and use specialized agents in Claude Codes for tasks, workflows, and improve context. Custom agents. Can y'all see this? Create specialized agents in Claude Codes for tasks, a specific area. Oh, you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about this. Oh shit, I did have different. Okay, there's different agents that I used to create here, for them to work. But yeah, I haven't used that in a while. I think that's what you're talking about, right? And you can create agents here and have them being able to like actually do the work, but it's going to be in the background. Yeah, that's the one. But there is a better Claude Code Async. Okay. Sub agent. So this process, you're talking about sub agents right here. This process then. So you're saying this agent process is better than this one? Because I didn't find this one to be too useful, right? And the reason I didn't like it too much is because it would work in the background and I wanted to see what it was actually doing. Like it wouldn't tell me until it was done. It was like, oh, I just finished the work, right? But I don't know if it's true or not until it's actually done. So that's why I didn't use it as much. I hear you. Right now, the agent's output are a wall of text paragraphs, not real trader talk on the desk or CNL panelist debate. I think I done Claude Code Async sub agents. And this is what I got. Let me do it one more time. Claude Code Async sub agents. Fair enough. Yeah, this is what I got right here. Oh, this is what I got. So I was able to find the details from it. I just need to like actually understand it a bit. Oh, here's the hooks you were talking about. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I'll go spend some time with it. I'll go understand it. I'll go get it. I'm gonna go understand it. Then I'll bring it back to y'all. You know what? I think. Okay, hold on. We want Nigel. Hold on. Energy's up 3.6%. Right. That's not a breakout. That's a dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounce. Brent's at 83.50. The inventory is drawing low. And crude's still down 20% year to date. You're cherry picking ones. VIX is at, that's not fair. 2 changes. Shorter, punchier turns. 2 sentence max per exchange, not paragraphs. True back and forth. Middle, rapid exchanges. 2. Okay. Upgrade the system prompt to enforce the conversational style. Change the debate flow, 4 rounds, 46 exchanges, and add explicit interrupt counter instructions. All right. Yes, the sub agents have a new sync for sub agents and it's brand new. Okay, no, I'll definitely check that out. And I appreciate you lacing me for that because that definitely could be beneficial to what I'm doing here. Let's test this out and gauge how well this works. Run a PLC to ensure we understand how to do this properly and works how we expect it to. Give me a second, bro. Let's see if this works. Let's see right now. That's not bad. That's not. Oh, my fault. My fault. My fault. Let me put you here. Still a bit long. Some turns. Let me tighten it a bit further. Rubbish, Elena. Hold on. Let's make sure this proper works. Good progress, but still some issues. Lena, starting with hold on too repetitive. Some lines still too long. SPY prices hallucinated versus the real. Wait, where's my usage at? Where's my usage at? Oh, usage is great. It resets in 32 minutes. Getting closer. The exchanges are short and punchy, but they're going in circles on SPY. Let me add more variety. Okay. Okay, my thing is, I just noticed something. Why are they only talking about SPY when we have more data to offer, right? Why isn't it about the market as a whole, not just one particular index / ETF? Or am I, or are we wrong here? Okay, here we go. You're 100% right. We're feeding them rich multi, but they're let's find out why. Yeah, they're getting a lot of great data, but they're only like focusing on SPY and VIX. I mean, I get it. They have a relationship with each other, but yo, fam, let's be a little bit better. Let's be a little bit better though. What are you doing? What are you feeding it? Analyzer volatility, news sentiment. Okay. From analyzer, from volatility, from options. Okay. Yeah, you're getting a lot of great info, fam. Don't just get stuck on one thing. Don't just get stuck on, look at that. It's about to compact too. Hopefully we can finish. I think we can finish before that. And it is 7:30. Hold on. Rich data. We have the sector, tech, huge divergence, but the agents are ignoring most of it. Let me run a POC where we get the full market picture. No shit, bro. No shit. I think we have to have clear instructions for them to be like, all right, and clear instructions, right? Indices, rotation, out of tech. Okay, VIX. Reference different. Okay, I told you explicit instructions. Reference different data points. Each turn, sector, small cap, options, news. Don't just talk about SPY and VIX. Use the full picture. Elena. Let's see. Let's see. They should properly fix it. Y'all see the little phantom? It had 12% here, so I'm not going crazy, and it just went away. Now that's what we're talking about. Sector rotation, small cap, option flow. The problem was we're only passing a thin slice of the data instead of the full market picture. We're going to create, the fix creates a rich market brief that includes all data points, structured debate rounds, right? Okay. Let's test one more time to ensure we work out all the bugs, right? Then check where we're going to fix it. Then once confirmed and tested, let's proceed. Let's proceed. Shall we proceed? Yes, indeed. Zesting. Shall we? That'll be great. Almost 1,000 tokens for you to just to be able to test something, Claude. I appreciate it. Let's see what this 1,000 token. Oh, you're testing it one more time, bringing in all the data. Build the rich data market. Okay. The leaders, divergence. Okay. You're giving it the full context that it needs in order to do its work. I love it. Let's see if this actually banks true, fam. Hold on. All right, 4 out of 5. Let me identify. Wait, fucker. Okay, so that's the wrong channel. Are you ready for some football? Let's see. Let's see. We're having Claude Code finishing up our updates so the agents could be a lot more fluid with the debating. So it's just not blocks of well, let me go test it. All right, so we still got some time. They're still doing the little announcements and all that. So that's fine. Run our pipeline. No. All right. Let's see. Again, I don't understand why it takes a year and a day. Now we have an issue. Review, and let's find and fix. Also, we noticed that it takes almost 30, if not 44 seconds approximately to initially run it. Can we have the UX UI for what we have created, right? So we can account for this. Get right, get right, get right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Y'all, my fault. It's just, I'm not gonna say it's the game, but it's the game. Again, I told you, if I see myself drifting off a bit, if I'm not able to give the attention. Okay, here we go. Fetching market data, running debates. Bro, I specifically, when I say specifically have something for this and you're not listening or using it, for matters, where is it? Maybe it's utility. Content, configs. We specifically have something that is better than this. Okay. Nigel. Bro, this is still not listening. All right, this is still not listening. I want to use this as a good stopping point. I still have to fix the outputs of the brain where it's not can actually listen and do what I want it to do. Right now it is not. So what I need to do, I want to use this as a good stopping point in order for us to be able to continue our work. I have the game that is on the precipice of about to kick off right now. And I've already seen myself looking over there more than paying attention here. So again, I want to stop here and we're going to come back and being able to continue this work a bit tomorrow when the market is open so we can actually get data coming in. Pascal, like always, I appreciate your input and everything that you do add to the channel. I'm definitely going to look into the items that you told me about, especially from the sub agents, right? The async sub agents. So that'll be interesting to see how I can be able to integrate that a little bit more into my processes. But nonetheless, it is your boy Creative. I will be back at it again with another episode.